So, seeing as I've recently just finished Miles Morales on the PlayStation 5, I thought I'd do an update video for the news for Marvel Spider-Man 2, the sequel to Spider-Man PS4, which I presume will be called Marvel's Spider-Man 2. So, Ben Jordan, the new Peter Parker, has been teasing that he's back to work, and based on what other work he does, modeling work, it's pretty clear he's teasing that he's been doing some voice work and some motion capture work for the next installment of Marvel Spider-Man 2. Now, seeing as Insomniac Games never freaking misses back-to-back AAA banging freaking cool games. Recently, Miles Morales last year on PS4 and PS5, but it runs so much smoother on PS5. And this year alone, Ratchet & Clank are ripped apart, freaking awesome. And there's so much evidence to back up that they actually are already working on this game, and they're actually much further into the development life cycle than you'd think, even with the pandemic. So, yo, what is good, YouTube? What's you here? If you are new around here, make sure to subscribe to never miss any videos. Check us out on Instagram at What'sYou if you want to see the face behind the voice. Also check us out on Twitter, What'sYouG, aka What'sYou. So we already know a lot about this game without knowing anything about this game. So we've got a bit of a post-credit teaser with Norman Osborn and Harry Osborn implying that his son could be carrying the venomous symbiote. Maybe, we don't know. It just teased that and made it as think that, but I don't realistically think that's what's going to happen in this game. So then what we got was, instead of getting Marvel Spider-Man 2, we got Miles Morales, which is a pretty freaking cool game. We got that, and yet again, we got another Harry Osborn Venom teaser, and he appears to be waking up in the chamber. It's a pretty quick scene right at the end of the game towards the credits. So that's pretty much what we know from the teasers of the previous two games, which is pretty freaking cool. I'm really impressed with Miles Morales. It's a freaking awesome game, but we know so much information about the next game already because the head of Marvel Games has been teasing stuff. Obviously, Ben Jordan, who is the motion capture guy, the voice of the new Peter Parker, which is kind of weird they changed it. And also there's some freaking huge leaks with some evidence to suggest that it could be real, and it could be coming very soon within the next year or so. So Ben Jordan, who plays Spider-Man Peter Parker, tweeted, actually I don't know if it's a tweet, I've got the image sent to me a while back, but basically the image is him saying back to work, and I presume this is Spider-Man. And obviously the actor that plays Miles Morales also tweeted out or on Instagram an image of Spider-Man. So I presume these two have recently been working on this game, because rumoredly Miles Morales is going to be completely playable, and we'll go over that in a bit. There's a massive plot leak to go over. So recently on a podcast, Eric, the head of Marvel Games, teased us a lot of cool stuff, and so far they've revealed the Galaxy game where you can only play Star-Lord. So obviously they're on about Marvel Spider-Man 2 for sure, because there's so much precedence and evidence to suggest that is the case. And not only that, Bill Roseman said this year we can safely say there's going to be some interesting announcements, reveals, teasers, and new things coming out. We're working on things every day, every hour, every minute at Marvel Games, #work hard. And this was him quote tweeting Eric, who said, got to talk a little bit about Marvel Games past, present, and future with my work brother, and then that's the rest of it. I'll put an image up right now so you can see what I mean. So there are some subtle hints toward Marvel Games doing something big, which is cool. So we know Horizon Zero Dawn 2 is coming. We know God of War 2 is coming. So whatever this huge event they're having this summer, rumoredly in August, could be where they reveal the trailer for Marvel Spider-Man 2. Because as I said, they are much further in development than you actually think. So we've got a bunch of plot leaks to go over. So it's Reddit, but Reddit is pretty reliable, so to speak. The person says, I can't disclose how I have this information. If you don't believe, that's fine. I just want to let the fandom know. So he says, first of all, development is further along than most people think. Now, I believe that because the actors of both Miles and Peter Parker have literally both teased they are doing something. And literally, the Miles Morales actor literally posted an image of Spider-Man. So it basically says they're focusing on gameplay and haven't really recorded anything yet, although the images kind of teased differently. So the story would totally revolve around this symbiote. Harry is not Venom. It's a fake out. They're just using him as a way to get the symbiote onto Peter. It's interesting. They're using Harry to get the symbiote on Peter. Norman will not be Green Goblin yet. He'll play a huge part, but they seem to be saving that for the future, which is cool. Respect that, because we want this franchise to keep going and going. Wrath will play a role as a recurring boss. Lizard is obviously planned as well, and some other villain. I don't know who the big bad is yet, but it's someone big. So obviously any kind of Spider-Man villain is always a variation of the Sinister Six. The map is also expanding, which I think most people expected. Not sure what the scale is. Miles is fully playable. That is awesome. That is really cool. that you're going to be able to flick between Peter and Miles. That will be a cool thing, because you could play him in Spider-Man PS4, but not as Spider-Man. The story will switch between them at various points of the game. You play as Peter for the majority of the game. Miles still has a lot to do with the story as well as his own side missions. Once you beat the campaign, you can unlock the ability to freely switch between them at will, which is something that is pretty cool. The black suit will still have its own mechanics. There will be an updated tree for upgrades, obviously, and have several unique abilities like rage mode, etc. I'm also being told that Insomniac is putting more empathy and emphasis on suits in this game. Several suits will actually factor into the story, like how the anti-Ock suit worked. They also want players to make sure they don't feel like they have to start from scratch. There will be an option to transfer your saves from the first game to have the gadgets and the upgrade. Already, this will also transfer the suits from the first two games, which I don't actually like. I think you should start the game from scratch. It's kind of pointless. I know it's a sequel to the first game. Well, the first two games. I don't really think this is a cool thing. I think that's pretty lame, so to speak. And then the same person on Reddit posted something different and said this: I was able to get in contact with my source and they've explained some things I actually misinterpreted and wanted to clear it up. Just because Harry isn't Venom doesn't mean he won't take on the Venom mantle-like qualities, but that he actually isn't the Venom of the series. Save transfers is entirely optional. The main reason for this is to allow players to focus on unlocking all of the new upgrades and other unlockables within the next game. I also misinterpreted that you transfer over every upgrade. It's actually just things like suits, gadgets, and upgrades. Melon damage and health won't transfer over, and there will be new gadgets to unlock, which is cool, but personally, I don't know what you guys think. I think you should start the game from scratch. I also got some more tidbits. Queens is definitely in the next game, for sure. I'm not sure about the potential other areas, but Queens is definitely added. There will be no MJ missions, which is a bit of a shame. Her role will actually be relatively small in this story. She will still be in the game, at least at the beginning. As for the big bad, it's someone deep in the comic lore, but even my source does not know and won't say and won't speculate. It is allegedly a composed character and not a straight adaptation. Jameson's role is larger and will have more of a physical appearance in this game. Black Cat will also make an appearance along with Kraven the Hunter. Kingpin will also make a return in some form, which is cool because we kind of see him in Miles Morales-ish. We gotta get him in there for sure. The black suit will have an entirely different play style to the regular Peter gameplay and essentially a third playable character. Pretty much all I got. Hoping to find out more news soon, which is pretty cool, guys. I'm not really happy that you can transfer some things from the other game because although it is a sequel, it is definitely a sequel. I don't disagree with that statement. I do believe you should start the game from scratch. It'd be like playing God of War 2 and starting with all your weapons maxed out and stuff and all like the top powers and attributes and skills. It would just make the game too easy. So you should start from scratch. But I kind of get it, but I do get it from a standpoint that you will have been Spider-Man for such a long time, but on the first two games that you realistically shouldn't be a noob, or maybe what they should, could, or would have done is just give you them attributes and skills instantly, so to speak. But it is interesting. Like I say, you've got to take this kind of stuff with a pinch of salt, but like I said, there is a lot of evidence that they are working on it. It clearly looks like the actor that plays Miles Morales, I can't pronounce his name properly, so I'm not even going to pronounce it, and Ben Jordan, the face and the voice actor for Peter Parker, did say back to work, and they both posted this roughly at the same time, so it's pretty obvious that work's going on. And then the head at Marvel Games did say there's lots of teasers coming that you won't see coming. So I think at this massive event that PlayStation's having, we will be getting God of War trailer, Horizon Zero Dawn 2, State of Play. We have to get this, but I hope this is at a huge game event, and I hope we are getting a teaser trailer, just like they did for God of War, for this sequel to Spider-Man PS4. Even if it's not a full gameplay CGI 2-3 minute trailer, I hope we get a freaking teaser because that'll be freaking dope. So like always, guys, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment to help this video grow and help the channel grow and push it out to the algorithm. Also check us out on Twitter, WarStewG, aka WarStew, aka The Maverick, and subscribe to the channel to help us grow and I will catch you in another video very soon, guys. Catch you later.